Hey, it is a rainy day. Not hardly any light. I'm in the guest room with my cozy little Afghan throw, whatever you want to call it. Came up here to sit and read and tried to read. I couldn't read. There's a skylight in the ceiling. Nice lighting up here, and I've got a lamp behind me if I wanted to turn it on. But I started thinking, and then I could not concentrate on reading. So I thought, you know what? I'll share my thoughts with you. Well, here are my thoughts. Have you seen the movie or the documentary, The Social Dilemma? My son told me about it, and so I turned it on last night, and I didn't watch 15, 20 minutes of it. Some of it I already knew. It's disturbing. And even though I already knew some of it, I guess it brought it back home to me, and that's the reason why I started thinking about it again. And I'm bringing this closer, and even more so maybe now because I can't get this right. Because as an educator or former educator, and once an educator, always an educator, I still think about the children, and I still keep in touch with the ones that I have formerly taught. Anyway, a lot of them, not all of them, of course. Y'all, social media is damaging our youth more than you might realize. And I'll tell you, I know this to be a fact, not my opinion, first of all, by child psychiatrist or psychologist point of view, and just from my own experiences in the classroom. First of all, let me start out by saying about 7 years ago, I guess, I was teaching journalism, and I said, we're going to do a social experiment this week. So for a week, the class agreed to put away their cell phones, not to get on a computer unless it was mandatory for a school assignment, and not to turn on a television for a week. Okay, just 1 week. It was the honor system. Parents knew about it. I sent a letter home. Most of the kids did it. Several of them broke in the middle of the week. Out of the 30 kids I had, I would say maybe 10, 15, 10, 12 made it to the end of the week. And then I made them write about it. And we used that in the school newspaper. But what was amazing to me is how surprised they were at how much free time they had, how much they got done, how much more they conversed with their parents, how much more they went out face to face, how they found themselves bored because they had already finished all of their homework. They had already gotten everything done that needed to be done, and they had extra time. And I wanted to say, I told you so, or you just proved my point, but I didn't. But that was the end. It's gotten much worse over the last 7 years. If you watch this show, The Social Dilemma, it's and I feel sort of like a hypocrite because I know I post these little shows on Facebook, so I'm using a social media site for this Facebook, but I use Facebook differently. Well, I don't even know if youth even use Facebook anymore. They don't use Facebook as much as they do Snapchat. Some of them Instagram. And Twitter. They don't use Facebook. That's for us older people. But even Facebook is on this social dilemma. It's all about privacy, which we now know we don't have much of in America. But I'm not even talking about that issue. I'm just talking about the young and how addicted they are to especially the iPhone. I have had children in my classroom, this is high school, that they're not supposed to have their phones out when I'm teaching, anybody's teaching. And I would go to take their phone, not to take it forever, not to keep it overnight, not to turn it into the office, but just put it on my desk until the morning. I would literally have some of the girls more so than boys, I would have some of the girls literally break down and cry because I took their cell phone. I would have others make sure that I left it on the edge of my desk so they could see it during class. They felt so insecure not having it, they had to see it. Most kids these days in school, this is what non-educators do not know, when they have a cell phone, will have it in their back pocket, or they'll sit on it, or the girls will tuck it in their bra, or they'll have it in their hoodie pocket, somewhere where they can feel it vibrate when they get a message or a call, which usually is just messages. And they cannot stand not to look at it. And that's the reason why it ends up being taken. Because you can't text or read text and listen to what's going on in instruction at the same time. I despise cell phones for that reason as a teacher. As a human, a parent, a concerned citizen, I despise it because these cell phones are lowering the self-esteem of kids and teenagers. So I would have this discussion as well in my class every single semester. And it was admitted by especially my female kids. If they didn't get so many likes on a picture or a post they put somewhere, they would take it down. Because they said, I must not have looked good. Or somebody didn't like what I posted because I didn't get enough likes. And they were embarrassed, they would take it down. I would have a written, I would have this like little information sheet I would pass out and take back up that was anonymous. And I had the majority of all my students say that if they didn't get enough likes on something, it hurt their feelings. And I've had a lot of the girls say that they wish they looked like the filter of themselves. When they take a selfie, they would take a selfie and you could put these filters to make yourself look better. God knows I need one. That make your teeth brighter, to make your eyes bluer or whatever, greener, just to make you look better. There was actually a time in the 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when girls are wanting to have plastic surgery to look like their filtered selves from their iPhones. This is where we're at. This is where we're at in America. This is where we are, where we're at. I should be saying where we're at. This is where we are in America with these cell phones. And it's like going down a rabbit hole. And I catch myself doing it when I'm on YouTube and I'll start watching funny animal clips and something else will come up and I'll watch that. Before you know it, an hour's gone by and I've been on YouTube for an hour and I'm like, what the heck? You know, but this is what they do for hours staring at their phone. In the meantime, they're not conversing with their parents. They're seeing things on the phone they shouldn't see. They're getting images on the phone. This is what you should look like. This is what the size you should be like. This is how you should behave. This is what you should be wearing. And if they're not doing all those things, then they feel like they're not good enough for society. I'm telling you, it may sound stupid to some of you, but this is the truth. So all I'm asking is parents to please, no matter how old your teenager is, to watch them with their phones. I didn't ever have that problem. It was easy for me to be a parent because, number one, cell phones were not popular when my kids were little, and they did not become popular until my boys were in high school, and then they were boys. They didn't even care if they had it. They still, to this day, don't text. I'll text my youngest son, who's 24. I'll text my youngest son, and he'll answer with a, yeah, okay, not okay, okay. You're not going to get a text conversation from him. So I didn't have to worry about it with them. These days, you have to worry about it. I know my best friend, she puts parental things on her son's iPads. And that's what you need to do. And you need to know what they're watching. You need to know what goes in here. A friend told me years ago, anything that you see and hear stays in your brain, stays with you forever, becomes a part of you. And I think this is why this time is so difficult on all of us, because we're seeing and hearing so much negativity. So just take some time out. Stay off the phone. Stay off the internet. Stay off the TV. Converse with God, nature. Listen to music, whatever. But just clear the cobwebs out, man, because once it goes in, it's part of you forever. Stay positive. Love you, friends. Love your family. Now I'm going to go downstairs and cook some supper for my dad. Okay? See you later.
Only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side.